You're listening to 182.3, Care What People Think.
Welcome back to another episode of the Care What People Think podcast. I'm Ryan, and this is Will right next to me this time. Will, actually say hi this time.
We have visuals on the podcast now.
Let's go.
You can believe it.
So, it's not me just like in pure darkness with my hands up. Everyone can see my hands are up. Let's go. Hey, Will, try a high five. You ready?
Wait. Oh, okay, yeah. Wait. There.
All right.
Just millennials.
Millennials. Either way, dude, you guys can finally see our faces. It is awesome. We have a great topic today as well. The power of optimism. A very happy topic along with very happy faces. Or maybe you're disgusted. Maybe you're clicking off for that reason. Sorry to say. I don't know. This is how I was made, though. So I don't know what to tell you. Either way, I actually want to just start off by saying my co-host Will is actually probably more optimistic than me. I think you can agree with that, right, Will?
Oh, I didn't. I'll take it. I
No,
didn't know
I'm
that's
just
where you're
saying.
gonna.
I figured it was something a good compliment to have. I'm a little bit negative sometimes, but I think Will's really on top of it. Anyway, before anything, every single week we have something that we're most proud of that we talk about. This week, I'm going to be talking about my morning routine and how much it is actually making a difference. Because holy shit, if you told me 5 years ago I was waking up at 7 a.m., bro. Oh,
I'm sorry. That is crazy in itself. I look over to the side camera. My man is eyeing down the camera, talking into your soul. If you're watching, that's that's crazy. Not the sound effects coming on. No, but you used to wake up I thought you still wake up early.
No. That's the thing is I'm saying I'm very proud of like being able to have that early routine. Like, dude,
Okay.
you can agree with this. Like 5 years ago, I was struggling to stay up or wake up
Stay up.
even like before 10 a.m. It's just a
Yeah.
fact. And so I think it's definitely making a difference with like how I feel during the day. I feel less rushed and more in control when I just give myself an hour or so before work. I also just feel like, yeah, I'm just very proud of, I don't know how to say it, but just waking up at a decent hour. Even on the
Yeah.
weekends, I consider myself very productive because I'm waking up in the morning. So, yeah, I think that's a win. What do you think, Will?
No, that's huge. I would say I definitely relate to the like as of starting to work out last November 3 times a week. Well, the goal was 3 times a week. Like forcing myself to get up. Now I like actually look forward to getting up because I just feel more productive and I can do stuff. And it's cool because once you do it for a long enough time, it's like, oh shit, I'm just getting up. And again, like you said, like 5 years ago. Wait, 5 years ago was pandemic. So I
5
was
years ago,
technically
I
starting
was
college.
18.
Okay, so I was starting college technically. But like, yeah, no, I was sleeping in. I was like almost peak streaming for me. So like, I was literally staying up until 5 a.m., waking up at maybe 4 p.m., and then I would just like stream all day. So totally, yeah, totally different shift. That's
100%.
actually really good though.
Yeah, no, either way, I'm just like proud of myself. I feel like I'm very productive. So, optimism. Let's go. Waking up.
Yeah,
Anyway, that's all I got.
and that's the episode. That's all he has.
And that's it.
No, I was gonna say one of my first points is I feel like it's overly said all the time, but like what you put out will be attracted back to you. So taking a direct comparison because I just plugged my YouTube channel and YouTube video last week. I have been constantly like trying to do YouTube as like a career for so long, and trying to find as many opportunities as possible. And as of last week, or no, not even last month, I had Sam Bucci reach out and he contracted me to help him do a video. And because of that video, now I have the likes of, this is not to flex, but I have the likes of people like Ryan Trahan, Curtis Connor, Logan Paul. They've all seen my stories and or watched the video. And so that is like more opportunity that has yet to come because of the first opportunity. But that really, I kind of like, I don't want to say I don't.
Bro, Sam. Bro,
No.
Sam,
I don't want to
flex
say, no, I don't want to say I manifested it, but like,
Oh, hell no.
but like the opportunity I got from just constantly trying and just putting myself out there of like, I don't know, a passion that I like. So
True.
it
Yeah,
comes
no,
back.
I agree, dude. It actually changes your brain. I think optimism is huge. And that ties perfectly into my point. Science backs it up. Optimistic people, maybe like Will more so than me, have lower stress levels and maybe better health. Maybe not because Will got cooked with his DNA.
But
But I mean, like, see, I can I will say I can eat and drink more than him. Am
I
I
just
wrong?
I just agreed, and I thought you were saying DNA as in like, look at this fucking fugly guy. Look at this guy. I thought you were
Yeah.
talking DNA like
I have
that.
a jawline and abs. Will got cooked with a double chin. No, but actually though, like it is proven to like lower stress levels. So even if you're not happy, just trying to be and putting on a fake face once in a while just to try to get through the tough times is actually a positive study. There is a downside to that. Having like fake happiness, which I'll get into, is definitely a bad thing.
Fappiness. Oh, yeah. No.
Fappiness, dude. That sounds a little wild. I'm not
There's
gonna
the
lie.
coin terminology for you.
But no, I'm going to back it up with stats too. So, like, this study is from Harvard, but it found that optimistic people live longer and have lower risk of heart disease. It's proven. It's been a thing for a long time. Harvard said it, so it matters, dude. It's let's go.
How
But
do you prove that? Like low key. How
I
do
mean,
you just like say how satisfied are you with your job, partner, hobby?
I think it
Like,
shows like the actual brain waves. Like you can like actually see like statistics of like a happier
oh,
brain than
oh yeah,
a
yeah.
depressed brain.
I thought you were gonna
You know
say
what I
you
mean?
can see happiness in wave format.
Yeah, it
That's be
just
like,
turns into a rainbow now. But but basically, another huge point is like your brain can actually be trained into being more optimistic. Just being like nicer to people or reframing negative thoughts. It's a learning process. But like even I'm working on it, but it's huge to be able open minded and know that it's like doesn't come overnight. So that's huge too.
yeah, no, actually. Speaking of like that, the whole mental piece, right? Again, I don't want to be cliche, but these are good examples. Ryan, when was the last time you saw a red car?
Today,
That's because he was looking for a red car. I don't know if that was true or not. But like the whole point is like if
yeah.
you try and look for a red car while you're just like walking down the street or while you're driving, it's very easy to find one. But if you're just casually going by your day to day, it's not gonna be like it's not gonna stand out. And that's because you have to be like in the mindset of like finding new opportunities or new things, you know? And that I mean, kind of proven by the last thing with like the luckiness I got saved with that contracting freelance job, but like I am just constantly on the look, especially with jobs. If you're trying to find a job, you gotta be locked in on just finding shit. I've
You got to
applied
be more than
to
locked in, bro. You got to get
yeah,
lucky as balls, dude.
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. We're just cooked. We've talked
I
about this a lot, dude. How many
I've
job applications are
So
up?
I sent when I was before my job, I sent 220, but as of this year starting, I've sent 65. I actually just changed my resume because the layout was not abiding to a lot of my strengths. So I was thinking I'd go over that later in a resume episode because that we have coming up soon. But like that, you again, you constantly applying, constantly asking people. It sucks because no one wants to hear because it's quite literally impossible. Um, but we got lucky, so
It's the world's way of
we're gonna be
saying
here.
fuck you, but but we'll give you a freelance job and you're fine for like
Yep.
another month. So yeah. Either way, dude. Yeah, you're staying on top of things for the most part, which sounds I don't know pretty cool. I mean, it is definitely a whole stress. Like the whole stress of finding a job just sucks, man. And so
It's a
it's super
full
hard to
time
be
job.
optimistic.
It really
Well,
is.
no. I'm saying like just looking for a job and like the whole job looking
No, that's
process.
yeah.
What? What were
Like
you
a
saying?
like find searching for a job is a full time job. Like that's how
Oh,
draining
oh,
it is. Yeah,
100%, dude. Yeah, it takes
yeah,
so much time, and I agree. Um, I I don't know. Like for me personally, I kind of had this goal in mind. Like after college, that I would kind of just start a job. I would then kind of just get up the ranks and make more money as I go. Kind of like I don't know how to say this, but a black and white take on life, right? And I can
yeah.
already tell like you can't be frustrated with like failure or you can't be frustrated with like negative thoughts. You just like that's part of life. So, um, although it didn't go as planned, looking back, you're glad it happened that way. You now know more about it, and that's huge. So,
No, actually, I've learned so much at my job, and I freaking hate my job, but I'm still really glad that I have the job that I have. So,
exactly, dude. Your backdrop might be the side of the street if you
oh,
didn't have the job. So,
thought you were gonna just make fun about you were saying black and white and be how talking about how darkly lit my background is because it is.
no,
You
that's
can't even
true.
see that shit says my name. No, a point that I feel like is not so obvious about like take what you put out, you get back. Seeing opportunity, red car analogy. Have you had a moment where you complain about something, right? Because maybe you haven't gotten a bunch of opportunities. You're complaining about something, you wish something would end, or you wish something would change, and then it fucking happens. Have you had that recently? It's
Yes.
a weird feeling. Did you feel any type of way, or were you just like, bless, thanks?
Okay, so depends, but I'm going to use my example of moving. I'm going to say, I hated
Okay.
it in Colorado. All I want
Yeah.
to do is move to Charlotte, North Carolina. I
Yeah.
want to do my thing, right?
Yeah.
Huge life change. I moved and I thought it would be only positive, right? I thought I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh my God, everything just changed and I'm good now. No. I then realized, holy shit, I love the mountains from Colorado. Now I don't have my family. That's also depressing. I also have to actually try in my career. So there's a lot of things that I'm like, I didn't really think about. But in the moment, all I was thinking about was the negative aspect. So, to your point, my answer is the
Depends.
problem. No, 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 no. The answer to the problem of moving, right? Or like in this example, did not solve all my problems. Although it opened a lot of doors, there's still a lot of pros and cons.
Okay, because I was gonna say sometimes what you're wanting maybe not like maybe the opportunity you really want may not actually be the opportunity that you need to get to learn said lesson or whatever. And you won't
True.
know that until a while has passed. For example, a year ago, we had a coworker who sorry, was so unqualified.
Drop
Was
the
so
name.
unqualified.
Drop
Not
the
no,
name.
no, no, no.
I'm just kidding.
So unqualified. Should not have been hired. I don't know how they got hired. The whole point was you're a marketing specialist. And when they got hired, they were like, "So I've worked in a totally different field for 7 years." And we were like, "Okay, do you know how to use any Adobe products?" And they were like, "Oh yeah, when I was like in high school." And then we asked them to like do something and they literally did not know how to use it. So they're like, "I don't know how to make any content." I'm like,
So
"Okay,
they
okay,
low key
okay."
lied to
No,
low
no, no,
key.
no. I'm like,
Oh
okay,
God.
so you don't know how to do the content creation part, but it's marketing specialist. Maybe you know a lot about marketing. So my coworker asked the other coworker, saying like, "Oh, what's what's your marketing background?" They literally go, "Oh, I don't know a single thing about marketing." They said that verbatim in the office. So I'm sitting there like, how the fuck did you get hired if you don't know? And so every day, because they were clogging up the
Jeez.
workflow pipeline, I was kind of sitting there like, I really wish we had a replacement because it's been a while now and they're slowing certain things up and they just it doesn't help to the team and it just feels weird. And then guess what? Guess what? Guess what? The next day they were gone. And that was weird as fuck because I'm like, I
So
just
how many total
banked on your
days? How many
downfall.
total days?
A month and like a half.
Bro.
They were there, but I
Honestly,
felt awful because I'm like, I wanted you gone, and then life actually had you go get a different job, and I like I didn't mean it like that.
true,
But
true. I mean, did it affect your workload after? Like, did you kind of feel better
uh,
after the person left?
yes, from like there was not someone to worry about because it's like, oh, I don't know if they're going to be
Okay.
able to make anything that we're going to post or do whatever. They also didn't really do anything because they were kind of unqualified, but yeah, that
So
like
in
I just
your example, it actually helped you, and like you prayed on their downfall, and it was actually like it turned out to like
well,
actually
no,
be
no, no,
right.
because I preyed on their downfall. I'm so used to you should not prey on people's downfall. But when it happens, you also just feel left weird. Cause like you should like that'd be like saying, I'm gonna buy this one scratch off ticket and I'm gonna win. And then you win. You'd probably be sitting there like, what the fuck? That was not supposed to happen. Like
True.
this shit takes time. So it can be a negative thing, like you were saying. I mean, in general, it's always gonna be a negative thing to only focus on the negative because that's what you're gonna those are the opportunities that are gonna come your way. Is
True.
No, I wasn't sure if I was just if you
No,
preyed on
that's
someone's
wild
downfall.
as fuck though, the fact that he or she, my fault, I have no clue, got hired, didn't know shit, and,
Yeah.
it kinda probably increased everyone's stress at the job too, just made more work for everyone, maybe. I don't know. Either way, I have those coworkers to this day. I'm not gonna say names either, but damn, does it suck. And when they have like a sick day, you're like, holy shit, it's so much nicer. It's so much nicer. But honestly, that's what I struggle with, man. Sometimes I talk like that, and I'm not even talking shit, but I'm just sometimes negative. And I think I even have to catch myself with that. And I'm like, hey, all right, let me reframe this negative thought and what do they bring to the table, right? And it's true, bro. It's
No, that's
true.
facts.
Because or else you'll never be ever happy or satisfied with anything. And I see this with my friends too, and I love them, and I'm the same way. But we like we love traveling. I'm just gonna set the scene. We love traveling. We have this list of like all these countries we want to go to. Yep, yep, yep. Draw up the whiteboard. Thank you, Will.
I
All
got you.
right. Basically, we just kind of show like all these countries that we've been to and all the ones we want to go to, right? So I have like this list and these goals. And I think if we don't hit those goals in our mind, we just feel like it's kind of like
Failure.
stuck in
Oh.
like, yeah, we're not looking forward to like the next big thing. And I think that's kind of bad for our brain chemistry because we're always like needing that serotonin boost. Isn't that the word? No, dopamine boost. Sorry. No, but
They
for
said
real
melatonin
though.
for a second. I'm like, bro's
No,
getting worked
no,
up to
no.
go to bed.
What does serotonin do though?
Um,
I think
that's a really good question. I want to type it on my keyboard, but that shit's gonna be noisy as hell.
oh dude, yeah, don't do
Um,
that. Go ahead.
serotonin. Wait, serotonin. Wait, what do you think it does?
I think it gives you happiness too.
I think your serotonin, also known as
All
hydroxytryptophamine, is a
right.
neurotransmitter and hormone that plays a crucial role in various bodily functions. Bro, that doesn't tell me anything.
Oh, so it just tells you that you use it to survive. All right.
No, actually, it's a chemical messenger produced in the brain and intestines that acts as both a hormone and a neurotransmitter.
Oh,
It's
so
found in the
it's the
gut.
mitochondria,
90% of the cell. Yeah,
the
powerhouse of the cell.
powerhouse of the cell. Nice.
Yep, there you go.
No, but okay. Anyway, I was talking about dopamine. The reason I'm saying that is like with today's age, like just how we are, we're always looking for that next like dopamine release. I caught myself this week scrolling TikTok at work and stuff, looking at screens, and I literally typed in my computer. I went, "How to get a dopamine release?" And I genuinely felt so stupid from that. Or
There's
sorry,
no way.
not dopamine release, a dopamine like get you know what I mean? Like get away from screens, get away. Um
Oh, you mean
and
how to
get away from how what does that mean?
what?
Like or what would you say there?
Dope. I don't know what you're.
I'm
What?
trying to say get away from like that quick satisfaction of that dopamine release.
How to uh was it dopamine hit? How to not I would just I'm surprised
Let
you
me
didn't
see
use
what
the
I
word
looked up.
addicted.
Let me see what I looked up. The reason
I'm
I'm going to
surprised
say
you
that,
didn't use the word how to not
I'm looking this up
chase
now
that
because
dopamine hit. Oh,
nope,
two
I'm
times the
looking it
charm.
up now. I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up.
Times the charm. I'm pretty sure it's dopamine hit and it's not be addicted to.
Thank you. Okay.
What?
Dopamine detox. Thank you. Literally looked
Okay,
that
okay,
up.
okay.
The reason I say that is because I genuinely felt myself low energy. I felt myself like going through the motions, a little bit depressed. And I think a huge thing with like today's day and age is we have all these dopamine releaser, like all these things in our life that bring out the negative side of things. And I think it's very hard to be optimistic when you're staring at a screen, you're doing these negative things. So me personally, I went to the gym 2 days in a row, not that that's that
Hey.
crazy. I went to the gym, started eating healthy in the last, like, 2 days, and I can already feel, like, a huge, huge change. So, I know that sounds
No,
stupid, but,
no,
like, it's
no,
true.
that's good. It's just it
Yeah.
prompts me. What's a food that you were not eat? What's a food that you chose to avoid in the last 2 days that you were like in my head? That's not healthy for me.
Honestly, man, I just, like, stuck to, like, fruits, grains,
Okay.
oats, like, I'm talking, like, stuff that like the more natural stuff, not just like fast food, burgers, fries, stuff like that. And I
Okay.
sometimes I'd have cheat lunches at work. I'm just like, dude, you know
Yeah.
what? I'm gonna pick it up. It's easy. But like the last 2 days,
Yeah.
I was like, fuck it. I feel kind of off. Let me go to the gym. Let me eat a little bit healthier. And I'm serious, dude. It helps a lot. So, I don't know that also helps with optimism as well. I'm just trying to tie it into the fact that happiness does not start overnight. So,
Yeah, no, it doesn't. And it takes a lot of effort to think optimistically. Because
facts.
I mean, I didn't want to. I want to get into a different point. I was just gonna say, like, I personally have been let down a lot from a career standpoint because I've never met. I guess there's not been someone that I. Well, first of all, YouTube as like my passion as a kid growing up in Colorado. No one thinks, especially in the 2000s, no one thinks it's a real job. No one thinks it's reliable. Yeah, literally everything. No one thinks it's real. No one thinks it's reliable. Everyone shits on it, which is crazy because if I was going to say I want to be an artist or a painter, people would be like, okay, I don't know how the fuck they're going to figure out that financial situation later, but like, yeah, you express yourself. But with YouTube, it totally gets a different rap. Um, and yeah, no, I've just been let down a lot. So like,
Well, you take
I
it
have,
serious. If you tell that to like the normal person, average Joe on the street, and you're like, I'm going to
yeah,
pursue YouTube, they'd be like, dude, you're cooked. Like, there's no way. But you have the video
that's
editing
true.
background, you have the passion for it. And I think you're also just like charismatic. So that's three
Oh, I
things that are
appreciate it.
the only reason I said, okay, bro's ego is getting strokes right now. All right, I'm gonna cook you. I'm gonna say, bro's not
The
KSI or
DNA.
Logan Paul.
The
Nope,
DNA.
you're good, dude. No, no, stick to another hobby. Become an artist, dude, please.
There you go. See, that's what I'm used to. And then
Tough
especially no one
love.
around me taking it as seriously. That it's not been like the Sidemen had fucking 7 of them. What are the chances you have 7 of your best friends interested in the same niche and I would say talented as well at that? They all know how to act on camera from day one. They all had their own thing. I mean, that's a side point.
I said it, dude. I said it
But
like a couple minutes ago. I said it doesn't happen overnight. And optimism does not happen overnight. Skills do not happen overnight, and just passion does not happen overnight. In my opinion, I think learning
yeah,
all those things, like for them to all be a group. By the way, I'm going to give some context. Not everyone knows the Sidemen. This is crazy,
yeah.
but they are UK YouTubers. That's a group of 7 of them. They've made it huge. They've been doing it now for almost 15 years. Like
Ah,
individually, but then like 10 years, I would say, as a group, which is really
yeah,
cool. Either way, they all have this passion for YouTube. But what I'm trying to get at is the fact that I think they all grew as a group. They didn't all just like develop it overnight. They practiced, they threw out shitty content, but it all like made them better. So I think that's with anything. I think it's really cool.
yeah. I don't know if you had any more points. I technically have 2. One's kind of a fun fact, which is very on brand for me, just like how I don't do my fucking laundry. Oh, guess what? I've worn this. How many days do you think I've worn this in a row? How many days?
Better be one,
How
bro.
many days? Nah, it's not that bad. It's only 2. Um, but
I just know,
what
bro, it
these pants though?
stinks.
These pants, you can't even see them because they're black jeans. These pants, check it 5. No, I'm kidding. That would be that would be crazy. No, this is just first day. Um, okay, the point though, to give more of a visual or another visual to like how important optimism is, I would view like like the skeleton outline, your brain and your brainstem and your skeleton, your spine, right? Think of it as a train, and the brain is the engine. The body. This is not science backed up at all. Yeah, brain blast like Jimmy Neutron. If you think about your brain being the engine of a train, bars, if it
Ugh,
goes
facts.
left or
That was
right,
fire,
if it
dude.
goes left or right, your body is pretty good at adjusting. Not literally like fucking dancing TikTok, but like if you are constantly looking for opportunities or whatever, say you're really into football was the only thing that came to mind because you get injured a fuck ton. If you're in football and you're wanting to be a pro and you're like constantly just trying to improve and you keep getting literal setbacks from getting injured, if your mental is like good and okay with taking breaks, knowing how to rest properly, knowing how to build back up, uh, like either like just recover correctly and or like keep going and have that passion, then your body will heal and it'll take time, but like you will be able to get over it. Versus
Yeah,
if
bro.
your mentality hits more of that
Dodge.
wall where you're just like, I don't want to do anything again, you're not going to be able to doing football as a pro because your body can only go. I don't know. That was kind of like a really scuffed version of it, but like that's kind of how I view it.
Take
Um,
Michael Jordan, bro. Do you know his background?
no, I don't know
He
anything about
didn't
basketball.
make the high school team, bro, as I think
Oh
a
shit!
freshman. Dude literally got cut from his team because I don't know, he didn't have the
Wow.
skills. Maybe he wasn't tall enough. I don't know the whole story. Either way, bro was probably frustrated, probably
Yeah.
sad, and probably overwhelmed. And guess what he did? He went, mm, mm,
Yeah, he went,
mm.
uh,
It's exactly what he did.
uh,
Oh
uh,
God, dude,
uh.
I think we should end it there,
Right
dude.
foot creep.
Hell no. But guess what, dude? He bounced back, was very optimistic, and he turned out to be a decent basketball player.
Yeah, just a little. Just
Just
pretty good. I know enough
no.
about basketball for that claim to be a little off.
Michael Jackson? Surprised you didn't say that. You're not like Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson? Dude, doesn't even Will does not know anything about basketball. So I'm just
No, it
surprised.
sucks because, bro, I went to college and I went from fucking being 5'1" as a freshman to 6'2" in the college, and everyone was like, "Do you play on the basketball team?"
Yeah, you probably could have
No,
been like
dude.
a shooting guard, dude. You would have
Bro,
been lethal from the three.
one, don't even know what a
Lethal.
shooting guard is. Two, I went to a party at your house party at Halloween, and context, it was regular, like everyone was there just having a good time. I'm not even dressed up as anything because I'm visiting in town. All of a sudden, I
Will's
go
scary
into your
enough.
bedroom. I go into one of you guys' bedrooms to like, we're talking or whatever. I come back out. Your whole fucking basketball team from your college is in your living room. The hell? And they were
Speaking
like
of,
they're like 6'7". What do you
yeah,
mean I play basketball? I'm six
yeah.
two. That's no.
Yeah, it's true. Speaking of, dude, this is super random, but did you know CSU, like Colorado State University, was in March Madness?
I
Didn't know that.
so asking for a friend if you could just slip a note under the
Oh
talk
my
about
God,
March
you don't know
Madness
what
is
March Madness
horrendous.
is?
Like just a little,
No,
just a little. I
no,
don't like. I
Will.
like no. It's draft. No,
Okay, okay, no
it's
worries. Yeah, I know
like
what
it's
I'm just gonna. You're asking for a friend. I'll
yeah,
let you know. Yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
Not me
Okay,
though.
either way.
Not me.
No, of course. You know what? Yeah. So anyway, explain it.
What? No, I asked you for help.
have
I
you
asked
seen
you
those?
for help.
Have you seen those memes, dude? Where
No.
he says, okay, I'm gonna actually say this first. This is so funny. There's like these TikToks where this dude literally goes up to people, says the most stupid shit, and laughs like a joke. He goes, "Guess
Oh,
what
now
the
you
square root of
explain it.
7 is?" Yeah, and they go
And
like, and
then
he goes like, "Elephant toothpaste," and then the person's like, and he goes, "Did you get it?" And they're like, "Yeah, explain it." And they just go, "Oh shit." Anyway, no, okay. Back to the point. March Madness is a college basketball tournament. It happens once a year,
how many
and
teams? All of them, or is it bracket style?
30, 32. No, wait, more than that. 64.
Okay, so it's a lot. I feel shitty for
Yeah,
my friend fucking well, my friend is playing flex. He was in my stats class. Shout out Damien. Damien Forrest. Fucking goat. He's playing basketball in Germany right now. And he's
very
six
cool.
nine. He's 6'9", dog. So I don't know why I'm even talking about basketball. But
I don't even know either. I don't
I'm
know.
the
Either
last
way,
point I will conclude with about seeing opportunities is again, you also don't know what will come out of it. And if you always, I guess this, I don't want to say two things. If you always have the whole like kind of like, I don't want to say golden retriever energy, but like I'm going to try this opportunity and then try this opportunity and try this opportunity. Great point. Opportunity will come. Thing you don't realize, you're going to be let down a lot. And that's just something that you have to acknowledge. Because, for example, I could post 1,000 videos on YouTube, and that's a lot of failures. However, if I post my 1,000th video and I get 1 million subscribers, looking back, that would have all gotten me where I needed to go. And that was just my path. And everyone has a different path. So some people can upload 2 videos and get 1 million, on my YouTube perspective. But like, that is something I feel like no one really talks about because it's very easy to be like,
totally.
just keep trying, but you will be hit hard. And being patient is crazy with that. But I saw an opportunity yesterday. Uh, I don't, if you're, now, this isn't a squeamish or anything warning, but like, My mom bought me a bunch of quinoa because I was trying to be on that health grind. I was having like a bowl or whatever with like lettuce and quinoa and whatever goes in that bowl, chicken and barbecue sauce. And I stopped being on that grind of quinoa, but I just so happened to still own a 5-pound bag of quinoa in my fucking fridge or shelf, not in the fridge. And I did a YouTube video on this, but if you soak quinoa overnight and then you blend it in the morning, it'll turn into a pancake smooth kind of paste. And so I was craving sugar so
What
badly for
the?
dessert. No. It's good for like tortillas. If you can't have gluten, there's like a super good hack. If you want to have like a tortilla for not really burrito. I'm getting sidetracked.
This is so random.
No. This is good. This is good. And so I needed to get rid of this quinoa, but I was starving for dessert. So I went, okay, last time I made this quinoa, it was not bad. So I want to mask the flavor with sugar. What should I dump on it? A bunch of syrup. And I'll just make them thicker so they're like pancakes instead of tortillas. And then I just so happen to have brown sugar left over. So I added some brown sugar in because why not? And then I had them made. And then I went, wait a minute, do you know what would make this even better? And mask the quinoa flavor even more is the only thing I have left in the pantry, which is peanut butter. So I put peanut butter on one side.
Was gonna say sugar.
No. I put peanut butter on one half of the pancake, and then I folded it like a taco, and I dipped it in syrup. That shit, opportunity reached. I fucking
see
slapped.
What you did there. That
Like,
was the shittiest way to say.
I needed to say
You're
I made a gross meal. I needed to make gross meal.
Was
and
the
it's
moral
good.
of the story? Was the moral of the story saying that you kept adding things to make it better?
Yeah, and I tried something new to think
Facts.
it would, and I was optimistically thinking like, hey, this could be dessert. And surprisingly enough, I'm not even bullshitting. It actually was, depending on the bite you got, it was relatively good.
Depends where the brown sugar was mixed in.
I don't think you would like it, or my girlfriend would like it, or anyone besides my dad would like it. But that's how I'm gonna get rid of all this quinoa. So,
okay. Actually, before we wrap things up, that's kind of perfect because I think you believed things could get better. Am I right, Will? You just could.
Yeah.
You started with a product that was all right. It's whatever. Bland. You added to make it better. Or if not, you learned a lot. So what I'm trying to say is I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast that optimism is completely different than toxic positivity. Yeah. And what I mean is, you can't be like ignoring problems, right? That is not what optimism means. It means you're believing things can get better. You're making mistakes, but you're learning from them. Toxic positivity is also when people force this fake happiness and ignore real emotions because, I mean, it's so true. You see it with so many people. Oh my God. Hi, Jessica. Like, shut up. Be yourself. I get it. Maybe you might like Jessica. Be nice to Jessica. But don't ignore your real emotions. It's so true, dude. You see it a lot. I'm not going to say in the female gender. It's very true. Very fake around some friends. But yeah, again, it's okay to be frustrated, sad, overwhelmed. It's all about taking the next step and just seeing what you can do from there. So me personally, I'm not trying to let my negative aspect, my life changes and everything affect me so much. I know that it's a problem, right? Like I know that, okay, I said this at the beginning too, but I started waking up at like 10 a.m. 5 years ago, and now I'm to the 7 a.m. like routine, and it's a lot of change. But I'm in it for a good outcome, and I know that it's a work in progress. But you got to be optimistic, and it just makes it a lot easier, and you feel healthier. So that's all I got.
No, that's awesome. If you're gonna listen to one thing throughout this episode, remember your mentality is everything, and it's insanely difficult to always think positively or always find the positive, optimistic viewpoint of an event. And it doesn't happen overnight. Like Ryan said, it takes a long ass time to just constantly get in the habit of seeing those opportunities like that. And finding those red cars or red flags, depending on your situation, can be a bit difficult. But searching will eventually get you to set opportunities. So make sure to care what people think. We'll see you next week.
See you next week on 182.3.